Today's podcast day. And so's tomorrow. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? I hope you're having the most amazing start to your day today. It's going to be a very interesting day. I've only been awake for maybe 45 minutes. I had enough time to grab a quick shower, but today we're setting up for 2 podcasts that we're going to be doing on back-to-back days. Today, we're going to be doing the 911 Nonsense podcast, which is a great time, and we're going to be doing the Hot Mess Espresso tomorrow. So, we got some work to do. As you guys know, I don't really want to use my main PC as the platform that I work off of when I do my long form content, because I want that to be the background of the video. I want that to be, it's the cool focal point of the room, and I kind of want that to be what the background of the video is. So what that means is I have to go ahead and set up a studio on the other side of this camera. And that requires some work. It's one of the biggest reasons why I'm making this studio a little bit more, I guess, user friendly, because I'm going to need to be able to set up and break down this setup anytime I want. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to be setting up for our first podcast, which is going to be in just a few hours. It's going to be the 911 Nonsense podcast, available on Spotify and all your major streaming platforms. So we're going to get that set up, and then we're going to let that stay kind of out and about through tomorrow, and then I got to break it all down again. So let's get after it. So as I mentioned, this is going to be the background of the video, and this is where the front is getting shot from. So we're going to be shooting from this direction, and we need to get our studio set up right over here so that we have an awesome background to film off of. So let's get cracking. So this is going to basically be the area where the studio is set up. You're going to have everything from your microphone, laptop, camera, our key lights set up. We have some fill lights that we have to set up. And everything's going to be right here so that I can face back towards me, and then we can have a really cool background for our live streams and for our podcasts and for everything that we want to do in our live form content. It's going to be an interesting setup, but I think I have it down to a science now. So let's get to it. Every time I do this, I forget how much goes into it. It's always amazing to me to see what studios look like behind the camera, because everything in the background always looks so clean and so crisp, but it's always just such a madhouse on the other side of the camera. It's always really cool to see. So all of this is going to be running off of my Lenovo Legion 5 laptop. That's basically what I run everything off of when it comes to the podcast or any live shows that I have to do. So if you guys are interested in any of the tech that I have in this room, I'll go ahead and leave it all down in the description. But for the most part, I'm going to be running off of Elgato key lights today. I'm going to be running off my Lenovo Legion 5 laptop. This one has I think it's like an RTX 3060 in it. So I have enough power to really do what I need to do. Sony ZV-10, right? ZV-E10, I think it is. With a Sigma 16mm lens. We're going to get all this set up. I'll put a link or something in the bio or whatever. Anybody that wants to know what kind of microphone I use a Shure MV7 Plus. As far as any of the mixing or controlling for the lights and things like that, I use a Wave Plus from Stream Deck to basically conquer all of that amazing. Through this entire process, basically what I'm trying to do is make it so that the wires are as little of a hazard as possible, because there's a lot going on behind all this, and it gets a little dangerous if you try to move something or pull something. So I try to have everything running underneath my TV stand. I try to get everything out of the way to keep it nice and clean. Super essential if you want to use your DSLR or any other type of camera for a webcam. You need to have an external power source, which doesn't usually come with your camera. Highly suggest that, because then you're running off basically an exploding clock for when you're going to be able to stop using your camera. So make sure you get yourself an external power source. Huge. Okay, so we have laptop, microphone, stream deck, iPad. We have camera, 2 key lights. We need to get our fill lights situated. For that, I'm just going to have one of my fill lights on top of my camera. We will add in our Corsair Virtuosos. And we are just about set up. Now let's test it out. So we're going to do a quick run through and just make sure everything looks good. Now listen, I know my background looks kind of crazy. Don't worry, I'm going to clean the room beforehand. Relax, stop yelling at me. All right, so everything's set up. Now we got to get everything tested and make sure that it works. So everything that I have here basically runs off of my Wave Plus. So all my lights run off my Wave Plus, my audio interface, all that good stuff. Everything runs off of this. So that's the first thing we're going to set up. If you'll notice here, I have my Wave set up. Now I have it set up where I can run my podcast or Spotify or whatever I really want to run off of it. But over here is how you activate the lights. So you hit the button, lights go on. Hit the button, lights go on. Right? Easy enough. Now it's just a matter of going through the computer software, making sure that the camera looks good, and we'll be ready to go for our podcast. All right, so the studio setup is complete. And in just about 45 minutes, we've managed to turn this place from a, relatively open space into this. We now have a fully functioning portable studio, complete with camera setup, microphone, laptop for monitoring everything, our key lights, and our one fill light on top of the camera. And that gives me exactly what I want in the background, which is my desktop. So while I'll be staring at this, everybody else gets to stare at this, which is a much cleaner look. It's much more professional. It has a really cool RGB look to it, which I think is going to look great on camera. Now, mind you, these monitors are going to be on, so it's going to add a little bit more ambiance in the back. And I just think it adds a really nice bit of professionalism to everything. So I'm really excited to get this going. You guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you guys like what you see here, go ahead and hit a like, comment, follow, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Make sure you hit that subscription button because that really helps us out. And hit that notification bell because that's how you're going to make sure you don't miss any episodes of our new content. Remember, we have 3 different types of new content coming out. It's going to be a great time, and I really hope to take you all for the ride for it. We have the best community in the world, and we're just going to keep growing from here, baby. Hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And again, if there's anything you'd like to see, things that you don't want to see, go ahead and put it in the comments. We're a big community, and we're going to get it done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. Work hard, be kind always. Do not forget to tell somebody that you love them. Say it often, make it weird. Have a beautiful rest of your day, guys. We'll see you on the next one.